Ethan Blackwell was the kind of man who turned heads and froze hearts. At 32, he was the CEO of Blackwell Enterprises, a billion-dollar tech company, and known across New York City as the Icy CEO. Tall, dark-haired, and devastatingly handsome, he was every matchmaker's dream. Yet despite being set up with dozens of beautiful, intelligent, and eligible women, he remained unimpressed and emotionally unreachable. His assistant, Miriam, had once joked that Ethan would probably fall for a ghost before a real woman. Too emotional, he'd say after one date. Too talkative. Too fake. Too interested in my money. The truth was, no woman had ever touched his soul. That was until Lila Monroe walked into the restaurant, wearing oversized glasses, a frizzy wig, mismatched clothes, and makeup so poorly done it looked intentional. Lila hadn't even wanted to be on a date. She had no interest in Ethan Blackwell, or any man for that matter. She had only agreed to the date as a favor, to her stepsister Veronica, a shallow, arrogant beauty who had secured the date with Ethan, but had a fashion gala to attend instead. "Just go as me, look awful, and get him to cancel future dates," Veronica had said smugly. "He's impossible anyway, so you're doing us both a favor." Lila, quirky, creative, and tired of Veronica's constant boasting, agreed. But she had her own twist. She decided to make a statement. If this man truly judged women by looks alone, she'd expose him for the shallow CEO everyone whispered about. But Ethan didn't do what she expected. He was intrigued. "Veronica?" he asked when she arrived, raising an eyebrow. "Yes," Lila said with a crooked grin, adjusting her fake glasses. "Though I'm sure I'm not what you expected." Ethan chuckled softly. "Not at all, but unexpected can be refreshing." They sat. And something strange happened. Lila, free of expectations, dropped every social nicety. She told him awkward puns. She talked about her obsession with sketching subway riders. She admitted she hated small talk and corporate events. She even picked the onions off her burger and lined them up like a DNA strand. And Ethan didn't flinch. In fact, he laughed, genuinely. He felt relaxed, something he hadn't experienced in years. There was no agenda in her, no flirtation, no approval seeking, just raw, eccentric honesty. For 2 hours they talked. By the end of the night, Ethan was smiling. "Can I see you again?" he asked. Lila froze. She hadn't expected that. Sure," she said, already dreading the lie she was now trapped in. Over the next few weeks, they met for more dates. Lila kept up the disguise. Frizzy hair, oversized clothes, clumsy jokes. But under the costume, she was being more herself than ever. Ethan found himself looking forward to their time together. With Veronica, he could breathe. He could talk about his late mother, the loneliness of being admired but not known, and his dream of starting a non-profit to help kids learn coding. Lila, meanwhile, was falling. Fast. And it terrified her, because Ethan wasn't who she thought he was either. He wasn't just a cold-hearted businessman. He was thoughtful, intense, and deeply kind beneath his frosty exterior. He remembered the smallest thing she said. He brought her art supplies one day without being asked. He learned her favorite tea, and he touched her soul. But the truth had claws, and they were catching up. It all came crashing down at a charity gala. Lila, attending with her art collective under her real name and real appearance, long, wavy chestnut hair, bright green eyes, and a bold sense of style, found herself face to face with Ethan. He was there with Veronica, the real one. His eyes widened the second he saw Lila. "You," he breathed. "You look like Lila Monroe," she said softly. "Not Veronica." Veronica stepped in with her fake innocence. "Oh, Ethan, this is just my odd little stepsister. What a weird coincidence." But Ethan's face had gone blank. "You lied to me," he said to Lila. Yes, she whispered, shame pouring into her voice. It started as a joke, a setup, but it became real. I didn't know how to tell you the truth. You're not who I thought you were, he said, his voice flat. I am, she pleaded. The way I spoke, the things I shared, that was all real. I just wasn't pretending to be beautiful. I was pretending to be someone you wouldn't want. That's the thing, he murmured, stepping closer. I didn't fall for what you looked like. I fell for you, for the woman who made me laugh, who didn't tiptoe around my title, who saw through my armor. But I broke your trust, Lila said. He nodded, torn. And that's not easy to fix. Weeks passed. Lila went back to her studio, pouring her heartbreak into her paintings. One of her pieces, a woman peeling off a mask to reveal a radiant face beneath, gained attention and went viral in an art magazine. Ethan saw it, and something cracked open in him. He realized Lila had never faked who she was. She had only hidden her beauty, because the world had taught her that being herself wasn't enough. But to him, she had been more than enough. He showed up at her gallery show. She was setting up alone when he walked in, holding a single daisy. The same flower she had doodled in his notebook weeks ago. I miss you, he said simply. I don't deserve your forgiveness, she replied. I'm not here to offer forgiveness, he said. I'm here to ask for a second beginning, as Ethan and Lila. No lies, no masks, just us. Tears welled in her eyes. You're really not mad? I'm in love, he said. I can't afford to be. Epilogue. A year later, the city buzzed with news of the Icy CEO's engagement to a wildly talented artist named Lila Monroe. Their wedding was private, in a rooftop garden filled with wildflowers and laughter. And every year, on the anniversary of their first disastrous blind date, Ethan gave her a daisy with a note. Thank you for being brave enough to show me the real you, because loving you is the only truth I ever needed.